This is BBC News with the latest headlines for viewers in the UK and around the world. Hello. After a weekend of warnings that some supplies of personal protective equipment for health service workers in the UK are on the verge of running out, a number of hospitals across England say their stocks of gowns are now critically low. It comes as the UK government is criticised over delays to a delivery of PPE, including 400,000 gowns from Turkey that had been due to arrive yesterday. The former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair is calling on the government to bring in a combination of people from the outside with different skill sets to support senior politicians and the civil service during the COVID-19 crisis. Speaking to Victoria Derbyshire, he said the government would need to find ways to get the economy going. Some small shops, meanwhile, have reopened in Germany amid tentative steps towards relaxing COVID-19 restrictions. Correspondent Jenny Hill told us more about which places are allowed to open. Jenny Hill reporting. The Spanish government says the number of COVID-19 deaths there in a 24-hour period has dropped below 400 for the first time. The UK government's scheme to help pay people's wages and support businesses amid the COVID-19 pandemic has begun last month. Sir Richard Branson has warned that Virgin Atlantic will collapse unless it receives support from the British government. In an open letter to employees, he said there was severe uncertainty facing the industry because it's not known how long planes will be grounded for. Virgin Australia has gone into administration, another business victim of the COVID-19 pandemic. Earlier I spoke to our transport correspondent Tom Burridge, who says the future of the airline is hanging by a thread. Tom Burridge reporting. While much of the COVID-19 virus death toll has come from Western nations, concern is growing about the rise of cases elsewhere. It's feared workers in developing nations could face extreme poverty and hunger when lockdown measures are imposed, stripping them of their jobs and income. The actor Idris Elba and his wife Sabrina, who have both recovered from the virus, have joined forces with the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development. They're helping to raise $200 million to support workers who produce the majority of the globe's food, but could face ruin when they're hit by quarantines. And I'm glad to say I'm joined then. How would it work?
Well,
Thank you.
thank you, Joanna.
Here in the UK, ministers have been keen to dismiss reports over the weekend that schools could be set to reopen in a matter of weeks. On the day pupils across the country should have been going back to the classroom for the first day of the summer term. How far away are we from the school gates reopening? Bryony Baines is head teacher of Kemps's provision for children of key workers. But those reports over the weekend suggesting that some primary schools could be opening their doors on May the 11th. What did you think when you read that? Joining us. An aggressive antibody testing campaign is to begin in New York next week to see how many people have had the virus. The number of virus-related deaths in the United States rose by almost 2,000 yesterday, bringing the total over the 40,000 mark. President Trump gave an update on how the US is tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. President Trump, New Zealand's Prime Minister, has said the country's lockdown will start to ease from next week. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. Right now it is time to say goodbye to those of you watching us outside of the UK on BBC World. Thank you for your company. See you soon. Bye-bye. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have told 4 of Britain's most popular newspapers that they're ending all cooperation with them. They've sent a letter to The Sun, The Mail, The Mirror and The Express saying they'll no longer engage with them because of what they feel has been unfair and inaccurate treatment. Here's our media correspondent David Silito. The Duke of Edinburgh, meanwhile, has made a rare public statement praising those tackling the COVID-19 pandemic across the UK and keeping essential services running. Time now for a look at the weather with Carol.